Alright, so here we are, the first build of 2025. It's going to be an RTX 2060 Super. And brand new case, thermal take, brand new motherboard, Gigabyte, because it's a Gigabyte GPU. Wanted to match those up. And we're going to be doing the Ryzen 7 3700X and the Trident Z 32 gigs, some support brackets. I got these two because they were cheap, so I can try one and see which one works best and return the other, or keep it. They're only $5. And the this is an overkill power supply, but I got it off a previous build, so I'm going to use it. It's a Corsair HX750i. That's just that way I don't have to take the expense of buying a power supply when I already have one from a previous deal I did. So that's fully modular. And then this one right here, this Lexar SSD M2 SSD 1TB. It's a Gen 4, but they're backwards compatible because it's a Gen 3 build. So as far as speeds go, PCIe speeds, and that's the build. We're gonna get going. So for me, first things first here, this is a used GPU, so I'm going to disassemble it and clean it really well, and then repaste it and then reassemble it, because I don't want to put it in this new build if it needs new paste, and just to make sure it's performing optimally. So that's the next step. Here it is, cracked open. You can see it, that stuff's pretty ancient there. It doesn't look like it's been cracked open before, maybe not. I was worried that it was open already because the screws were kind of loose. But I'm gonna crack the shroud off and clean the fans too. So there it is, cleaner than before. I didn't want to keep picking, you know what I mean? I just figured I'd get it nice and clean as I can get it, with the alcohol and some cotton swabs, and I don't want to just keep picking at it and just damage anything. So I'm gonna get ready to repaste it. I'm gonna take the fans off first, and so you can get a visual. This is on the back side of that GPU, under the fans. How nasty! We're gonna change that right now. Here we go. Just finished cleaning the back of the fans. They look a lot better. Clean the back of that. All I gotta do is repaste it, reassemble it. It's ready to go. So we'll be applying the high performance thermal paste from Corsair, the HX750i. And yeah, I'm gonna apply that, and then so I used to do it like the pattern seen in nature, but I don't now. I just do like the drop on there, because I noticed in other videos that test different patterns, that when you just do a drop, it's gonna spread anyway when it's compressed. And there she is, looking nice and clean, freshly repasted and ready for the new build. I also cleaned that off with alcohol. And yeah, we're ready to go to the next phase, to start putting together the motherboard with CPU cooler, RAM, everything in that nice case over there with our M2 SSD. This one's gonna be a fun one. Alright, so here's our brand new board from Gigabyte, B450 Wi-Fi. And I'm gonna be opening those when I need them. Won't be needing that. We're using an M2 SSD. I'm gonna be using the Lexar. So let's look at the new CPU, Ryzen 7 3700X, brand new. And then we have our cooler, CPU cooler, and it's already got thermal paste pre-applied, so we don't need to have to go through that. So it's time to get that installed. So here we go, CPU's already locked in. Yeah. Alright, so there it is, the AMD Prism installed on top of the CPU. These retention clips are spring loaded. This is the first time I'm doing a Prism, so I had to look it up. You have to push them down and clip them on these clips, and then this lever, it locks over to lock it in place. That's the last one you want to do. This is for the CPU fan cooler, and then for the RGB, we have to remove one of these rubber pieces here on the back, and I'm going to be using the RGB connector to control the RGB from the motherboard. So there it is, installed, cable nice and tied up nice and snug. And you can also control the speed of the fan right here. You'll see it says low, high. I'm gonna try it on low first, and then while gaming I'll probably switch it to high. Alright, next is the G.Skill Trident Z Neo RAM sticks. Already got it ready. Put them on slots 2 and 4. Got the RAM sticks installed, and then next is the M2 SSD. Comes already ready to go. It's got the screws in the case right there, and it comes with the M2 SSD with the heat sink with the thermal pad already applied. So there it is, installed, and time to move on to putting the motherboard in the case. Put the motherboard in the case. This is the brand new case. I haven't even taken the seal off it yet. It's actually a pretty nice case. I think it's a really nice case. But yeah, let's get that going. We're gonna get that in. Alright, ran into another issue where the PSU is too big for the case, so it fits here, but lengthwise it don't fit. So I'm gonna have to remove the place where you put your hard drives, because we don't plan on putting hard drives or anything in here. So yeah, we'll see. Alright, to make the power supply be able to fit, you can see down here and here. I know it's hard to see right now. I have poor lighting right now, but it's not going to fit back in here. The hard drive bracket there to house the hard drives. We don't need them anyway. Hard drives not in this build, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put this power supply in here. It does, the screws do line up. Right now it's sitting down, but like once I stand the case up and screw in the power supply, it does line up. And then the fan is pretty huge on this one, so that's the vent, and it should line up good enough to pull in air through the fan. But it's a good thing that this power supply is also fully modular, because it's gonna make all this nightmare of wires we got here a little bit easier to manage. So power supply is in. It does fit a little bit different because it's a longer one, but it's fully modular, so I only plugged in what we needed. But we're not going to need any hard drives, because with modern PCs, we have 1, 2, and 4 terabyte options for M2 SSDs. We shouldn't be needing hard drives anymore. So that's my argument. I don't even use hard drives anymore. That's like 80s, 90s. We need to get with the program if you're still using hard drives. So next up is the I/O shield. I'm gonna pop the I/O shield installed. And well, yeah, I use these little buckets right here for my screws. That was part of my, I ended up getting this. I don't know, I'll have to just make that a separate video, just in case you want a toolbox for PC building. But yeah, whatever. So the motherboard is lined up. All we gotta do is, it's actually on this one is 6 screws. The 1, 2, and then the 3, 4. That one has no place to mount. And then up here we have, if we can see it, sorry about that. Yeah, that one would be 5 here where my finger's pointing. You can barely see the threading on it. And then 6 would be, yeah, out there between where my fingers are pointing, but hard to see. Either way, you can consult the motherboard manual. I turned on because I use my smartphone for recording and everything, I turned on the smartphone light, so that way I can see that the hose line board is mounted. I had to use an extender, of course, to my screwdriver. I'll have a video on that if you need a set. And everything's gonna go ready to go to the next step. Next is the GPU. So we gotta remove these from the case and make room for the GPU. Alright, GPU is in. came out nice. Going to the next is going to be plugging everything into the motherboard, and you can see how that's going to suck. I should have done that first, then the graphics card, but too late. So, the case instructions suck. They say to put the GPU before all the connectors, which is wrong. Putting the connectors first is the easy part, unless you got really tiny fingers and you can fit in small spaces like that. So I had to take the GPU out, putting all the front panel connectors I put on. I got to put the power supply connectors, and then the case fan connectors, and then I'm gonna do the GPU. I just got all the fans connected. Next is to get the CPU connector, which I have here, and then the ATX, and then get the wire ready for the GPU, and then install the GPU, etc., etc. We'll see how it goes, because I can already tell cable management's gonna suck. GPU's back in. Everything looks good. Now we're ready to do cable management, put this thing together, and then we're ready to boot it and see how it goes. As far as cable management goes, that's the best it's gonna get. I didn't want to like get too fancy with it, because I wanted it to be easy for people that maybe add more fans or upgrade the GPU, or swap out the power supply. Maybe we'll see. It's still gonna be a hassle. PC case on, no bumps. It's nice and smooth installation. It is. I took the plastic off the glass, the protectant film, and on both sides, and it's ready to boot. We're about to get some action. So there's the GPU anti-sag bracket. Nice. It's nice. I'll get a shot during the daytime, but it's a nice one. It's perfect for this build. And then the Wi-Fi antenna. Here we go. We're about to boot the PC for the first time. Oh, we got power in there. Did you see that? All right, now let's see what we get when we turn this thing on. Oh wow, look at that. That thing looks pretty so far. But let's see if we get a boot. Oh goodness gracious. Look at those ones. Yowzers. Come on, baby. Ooh, yes. Tell me I didn't get robbed on the graphics card. Beep. There goes the beep. Oh, yes, and we did it. Time to put Windows 11 on there. Woo! So here we go. I just installed Windows 11 Pro on it. This thing is nice. It's not even set up yet. But yeah, getting things ready. So here we are, getting Windows up to date. Not all the way up to date, but up to date so we can boot to Windows. This thing is still looking nice. Yes. So for me, this is probably the best build yet. Starting off 2025 with a nice one. So I just finished getting this PC up to date. What's gonna be next is installing software, benchmarking the PC, and playing some Apex Legends, and putting it on my other desk where I'll be daily driving this thing for a little while, seeing how it goes. I'm expecting it to be a beast. Alright, so I ended up having to take this build apart, or I'm about to, because the fans that this case comes with, they're not great. Just so that way you know that if you buy this case, I'll put the case link in the description, video description, but the fans this case comes with, there's thermal take, but the fans, even on when you max them on high, the air intake is very, 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 very low, like the lowest I've ever seen. So I got these thermal rights that I usually use in my builds, and these things pull in a lot of air. These are like really good ones, and they're only 12 bucks for a set. So that's the ones I'm putting in now, and then I was gonna repaste the CPU, because while gaming I noticed the CPU was getting close to around 76 degrees Celsius, and I know that's not nothing to worry about, but It's either because of these fans. I'm thinking likely because of these fans, but also just to keep it safe, I'm gonna put the high performance thermal paste on there, because the thermal paste that's on there right now is the thermal paste that the CPU cooler comes with, and I should not have used that. I should have known better. Alright, this is what the factory thermal paste did to the CPU. That's what it did to the CPU cooler. Already got it apart. All I gotta do is put those fans in there, and then go ahead and put some new thermal paste after I clean this up, of course. Alright, so here it is, nice and clean. CPU cooler and the CPU. Getting ready to repaste it and then put the fans on, put it back together. Alright, this one, so you know, the thermal paste I use is this Corsair high performance thermal paste. I have it earlier in the video when I was repasting the GPU, but the XT950, this is the one I've been using for all my builds. You see it's pretty much empty, but it works really well. So here it is, reassembled. This is the setup I had with one of my previous builds that you'll see in the videos. It's got a lot of intake fans and one exhaust fan, but it made for an excellent setup because that one never had any issues with anything. It was nice. The air coming through it was like really good. So just to note, another mistake I made was when I put the GPU support bracket on originally on this GPU, I accidentally set it on the fan. And so this GPU has 3 fans like you've seen, and that one was not spinning, and the GPU was overheating. So not only did I have the intake air issue, I had this thing sitting on a fan, keeping it from spinning. So FYI, you want to check for that. Make sure you're not resting your GPU fan on the bracket. You got to rest the shroud, the frame. Look at that. Right now it's calibrating. So it's calibrating the fans, and I could tell you from what I've seen already that this thing is getting way better airflow. Way better. You can feel, now you can actually feel the air right here. You can feel it nice and strong. And then out the back right here, the exhaust, you can feel it nice and strong. And I'm about to turn on the MSI Afterburner and run a game of Apex, and you're gonna see that next. Alright, so I'm gonna run a 3D Mark benchmark. We're gonna run Time Spy. And I have the fans kicked up all the way on the PC. And I'm gonna shut up and let you watch it. So it looks like it's scanning the system info because it is a new system. I did run it previously, but I did make changes, so I wanted to run it one more time, so the other one's not going to be any good, because the changes I made was I used high performance thermal paste on the CPU cooler, because the CPU cooler came with the manufacturer's pre-applied thermal paste, which sucked, and the CPU was overheating by, I believe, close to 15 degrees Celsius, higher than it is now with the high performance thermal paste on it. And I upgraded the fan, so I added 5 Thermalright PC case fans, RGBs. They look great, you'll see it, and they blow way more air than the other ones before, the stock ones that came on the Thermaltake case. Alright, so everything is within temperature. I'll show you the temperatures when we run a game of Apex Legends, but for now we'll run our benchmark, and then we're going to run the Time Spy benchmark.
All right, so that's our score. We scored slightly under average with the 8555, and I know why. It's because we're recording. If I run it again without running OBS Studio and then take a screenshot of that, I'll have it. I could probably show you that in the video when I'm running Apex Legends or right about that time, and you'll see that we're going to get higher than average because we're using more resources by running OBS Studio recording this, but it still did good. And it is a 2060 super build. We're doing 1080p high, or at least I'm trying to target at least as high as I can with the 2060 super. It was able to do ultra settings on Apex Legends, almost ultra settings, not quite, but it almost maxed out Apex Legends, which is good. It was high settings, almost ultra. I had to kick one of them down to high, and yeah, on the I'll talk about it when we get there. But it's got the Ryzen 7 3700X, and the reason why I chose the Ryzen 7 with 32 gigs of RAM is because I've had some clients that whether it was their first PC or not, they've always asked. I need the PC to stream well because it seems like I'm getting people, whether they buy a PC from me or not, that they want to get into creating some kind of content or streaming their gaming um, online, and a Ryzen 5 or equivalent is is not really going to cut it for streaming. You need a Ryzen 7 or greater, and then you need 32 gigs or greater, which we know it's possible to stream on 16 gigabytes of RAM or Ryzen 5, but it's gonna suck, and then you're gonna give your whoever's watching, your viewers, a pretty poor experience. So that's why I'm going with this setup now. I'm trying to build mid tier. This time I'm trying to target with these next with this build is a mid tier gaming and streaming, and then professional use, of course, because you can use these for professional use, no problem. But yeah, this is the rest of the 3D Mark chart, and that's the video. I'm gonna run it again and get this number without using other resources. All right, so I wanted to throw this together real quick just to show you. This is the benchmark score above average at 896 when we run TimeSpy or the 3D Mark benchmark running TimeSpy without any of the resources running like OBS Studio. So we get the score a little higher. Same setup, so you can see it's all the same setup. If you want to look at the video before, look at the video now. Um, and that's how it is going to be with any PC. You're always going to get the best performance when you reduce the load on the CPU, right? Like when you're not running or expand or using up all your resources, or using as least resources as possible when you're gaming. But like if that's why it's important for streamers to have better specs. So just wanted to share that, and then next we'll be getting into gaming. All right, here we go. I'm gonna do a recording of Apex Legends with the new season 24 on this PC. Of course, we got MSI Afterburner running, so you see it perform as well. It's still Apex Legends, you know. Just because they did a major update doesn't mean it's gonna make it impossible to play on this setup. You know what I mean? It didn't. I already played it already. It didn't have any effect on it. But the game does play a lot better though. As far as the updates they made, it was great. You can look those up online somewhere if you're into Apex. But for most of this recording, I'm gonna just stay quiet. I'm gonna mute myself so you can hear the game. Check it out. All right, so we can talk a little bit about the in-game settings. As I have in the NVIDIA app, I boosted it, I've maxed it out, I've like completely optimized the game. So the game's all the way up. These are just my normal settings I usually have. For all the other settings inside the game, they're already all maxed out. The only one that's not maxed out is the spot shadow detail, because if you see here, there's nothing here, but when you kick this one up with the 8 gigabytes of VRAM, it complains. So, you know, that's just a little sign that in our time, you know what I mean, we need 12 gigabytes of VRAM or higher now. I don't know why these new cards coming out still have 8 gigabytes of VRAM, but kick it down to, you know, that's a conversation for another time, but you kick it down to very high and it goes away, that warning goes away. But I just don't like having warnings or anything that might impact performance that I can control like that. You know what I mean? I'd rather, if there's an impact in performance, it could be Wi-Fi. I don't play on Wi-Fi. It could be the Ethernet though, or just your internet connection, your internet service provider, or, you know, aka ISP. But it shouldn't be your machine, and especially this machine, not this machine. This machine's beastie. It runs good. So yeah, I'm gonna shut up now so you can watch the game. Yeah, let's do a game of trio. It's not too bad, right? Squad up with somebody. Oh, somebody took Ash. It's all good. I go lifeline. But you know what? I haven't seen have an assault party. I haven't seen ballistics updates yet. It's only trios anyway, right? As you can see, I don't play ballistic very much. I have every legend unlocked too. There's certain ones I like to play. Alright,
I'm
let's
Jump
get
Master.
it.
Fear not. Boldness is my ally. Time we bring the wrath. We should journey there. Magnificent!
Attention. First blood. First blood has been taken. Round one.
We're outside the ring. Get ready for a world of
Extended
hurt.
light mag here. Level 2.
Attention. There is a new kill leader.
New kill leader. Watch your
Attention.
six.
Evo harvesters are online.
My shotgun ammunition's
Optics
depleted.
here. Close range. Always better than iron sights.
Warning. Ring movement in progress.
We're already in the next ring. Now, we wait.
Attention. There is a new kill leader.
A new kill leader. Absolutely disgusting effort. Well done.
I want to grab that assault bin in the back right there.
Care package being delivered.
Evo harvester spotted near me. Care package touching down. They usually carry rare platforms. Found extra supplies here. Arm up. Optics here. Mid-range.
We're spread out all over the map. We do know how to use maps, don't we?
Attention. The champion has been eliminated.
The champion fell. They did not deserve the title. Evo harvester spotted near me.
Ah, excellent. I've leveled up. Now, to select an upgrade.
R301 here.
I've selected an upgrade.
Breaching this hole. Fire in the hole. Half the squads are left.
I heard somebody nearby.
Extended energy magazine here. Level 3.
We should journey there.
Tango spotted. Danger close. Arc start out. Hostile over there.
Spotted our foe there. Idiot with a firearm here.
Heads up. Dropping the pain.
This fight isn't over. Get up.
Did you think you'd be on top
Damn, we
forever?
got wrecked.
Change is coming.
It's all good. You
There's
can
new
see the
piece
game's
with it.
playing good.
Cracked an enemy shield. I'm down. Watch it. Hostile landed near
Bruh,
me.
this is a team trying to third party, it looks like. Yeah, another team just came into it.
Healing. I've secured the banner. These bonds aren't easily broken.
Round 2. Beginning ring countdown.
The ring is far. Time to move. Taking fire. I've secured the banner. They get a second chance. Replicator incoming.
GG's. Well, the goal was accomplished. I didn't perform too well, but as you can see, the game's got no problem playing, right? I mean, it plays good. I don't know what I got here. Let's check it out. Oh, a banner. Yeah, we don't need that banner. But yeah, So yeah, look, good temperatures, GPU good temperatures, CPU good temperatures. The game doesn't really use much memory, even though we got 32 gigs on here, and but it does come in handy when we're streaming. And 60 frames a second right now in the lobby, but when we're in the game, we're hitting 180. But it's because of my monitor. I'm pretty sure this PC can hit more. I feel like it can, but it's mainly because of the settings within Apex. And because it knows I'm running a 1080p monitor with that has 180 hertz on it. I was looking to upgrade to like maybe 200 some hertz monitor. I just haven't done it yet. I feel like 180 hertz is good for what I'm doing. You can let me know what you think about that though, whether you think um, it's worth it or not to upgrade to a monitor that's pushes over 200 hertz if you can really like feel that bump and like like in a performance as far as a performance increase in frames or anything. I'm pretty sure like if I can get something to kick over like that, I think this card can actually pull more, especially if you lower the settings down. I'm pretty sure it'll pull over 200 frames per second on this game. But having the monitor to take advantage of that FPS is what's important, right? So anyway, as you see, it works good. So this is gonna end the um, the video for this build, and I'm gonna be posting this build on Facebook Marketplace, Java, of course, and OfferUp, and we'll see how long it takes. I think somebody's gonna be in for a treat, and I actually think this one's gonna sell pretty quick. This might be, I'm expecting it to anyway, because when I looked at this PC, like me just looking at it, if I didn't have one, I'd want it. I would be like, damn, that's like a nice theme going on with that thing. I gotta, what I mean, I would want to get it. I would feel like I gotta have it. So I feel good about this one. I think this one's gonna be. It's not just eye candy, it performs well. So I'm hoping this one is my fastest sale yet. We'll see. But yeah, you like my channel, like and subscribe. You can DM me anytime, reach out to me, or just message me on YouTube if you guys want to connect on Discord and game, or just um, I don't know, do something. Maybe just nerd talk. I don't care, whatever. Get at me. Stay blessed.